Alright, hi everybody, welcome to today's video. On the day it's being recorded, it is Sunday, May 21st of 2023. It's around 4:30-ish. I'm going through downtown right now, and I'm going over to my mom's for a little bit. Because, earlier in the week, I was told by Katrina that Angel is more likely on her deathbed because, she's not eating. She's just kind of mopey, but she's drinking, but hardly, doing anything. So I told Mom and Katrina that I was going to be over to, see her sometime this weekend, since it's my weekend off. Because it was one of the major things I wanted to do this weekend. And surprisingly, the other major thing I wanted to do this weekend, kind of also up to James. We're supposed to start doing the commentary for Spiral 1 sometime this weekend. But so far he hasn't said anything about it. But speaking about my Let's Play channel, after like about a week and a half of trying to beat the Valley Fortress in Super Mario World, which is it's one of 4 fights against Reznor, because Super Mario World was Reznor's debut, and it's actually the last Reznor fight in the entire game. It took me damn near 2 weeks to beat it. Like, I literally just beat it right before I walked out the door. Like 85 attempts, and like 8 or so days later, I beat it. So that's gonna be like part 13. Part 14 will be both the regular and secret exits of the Valley Ghost House, and then Valley Bowser 3. Part 15 will be Valley Bowser, both secret and main exits of Valley Bowser 4, and then Castle Number 7. Let's see here. Now part 16. So once we get all of the other 4 levels done out of the way, and the 2 that have the secret exits, the Ghost House and Valley of Bowser 4, there's really only like 3 different areas left of the game that I still have to complete. And what I decided to do is that I'm just going to beat the game like normal. Beat Bowser. But there's still also a little bit more stuff left to do in the game, which I decided to turn it into bonus videos. There's the entire Star Road to get through. And then there's the special levels, which are arguably the hardest levels of the entire game. Especially with the level that is, well, the title screen. And everyone's bane of their existence of that game, Tubular, which is one of those 8 special worlds. Well, not worlds, but levels. They are the hardest levels of the entire game, so I'm kind of worried about that one. Which is why I decided to at least beat the main game first, and then do everything else as like bonus videos. Which I think will work out a little bit better, because then I can complete those, with no time frame. As long as I get the main game done first, that's all that matters. Well, traffic's kind of busy out here for a Sunday. Oh, that's right. Harding had their graduation today, which, congratulations to the class of 2023. May you continue to do greatness in the world, and regardless of whatever you choose, whether you go to college or go straight into the workforce, whichever you choose, good luck out there. Now, for me, it's been 5 years since I last graduated high school, which is hard to believe. And I didn't graduate with a whole lot of stuff, but I was one of the very first people to walk across the stage, only because, well, I was in student council. But see, with being in student council, I had to maintain a GPA of at least 1.5. Well, I kind of float around 1.5 practically all senior year, because I kind of realized that high school wasn't really my forte. I mean, sure, I was there almost the whole entire time, but I just kind of didn't really apply myself as much in most of my classes. But in some of my classes, I really pay attention to. Mainly for, as you would have guessed, all my history and government classes, I definitely put an effort in, as well as all of my extracurriculars, which I really only did a few. I think I did one main extracurricular throughout my entire high school career, and that was choir. I started out in freshman choir because I was in 8th grade choir. Because, funny enough, the mayor's wife is the middle school choir teacher. So she gets to deal with a whole bunch of different kinds of people, which is weird, but also kind of funny. And it's going to be definitely kind of weird when Mayor Searcher isn't going to be mayor anymore, because he announced in a podcast earlier in the year that this year we are electing a new governor. or not new governor, but a new mayor for, Marion, he decided he wasn't going to run for another term as mayor. So he was like, okay, regardless of whoever decides to gain the Democrat nominee, because he's a Democrat, by the way, he decided that, you know what, I'm just going to serve the rest of this term, and I might be back, but more than likely I probably won't. So that's probably going to be the end of his 10, 15 year reign. He hasn't been mayor for that long, has he? I don't even know when he first got sworn in, or when he was first elected. But, here's the thing. It's just, the funny thing is that according to Ohio state law, and yes, I've done my research on this because I was quite curious about it myself. I even did it in when we were in the computer lab for my English class senior year, which was the last class of the day I had. I was curious on how old you have to be in order to run for city and state government. Well, I looked it up, just based on curiosity. And bare minimum, you have to be at least 18 to run for city and state government. And I thought to myself, interesting. So I could run for city council. I could run for mayor. I could run for a state legislator. And I could run for governor if I wanted to. But, it's just kind of interesting. But, obviously for Congress, you have to be bare minimum at least 25. You have to be 25 to be in the House, as says so in the Constitution. You have to be at least 30 to be in the Senate, as said by the Constitution. And you have to be at least 35 to be president, according to the Constitution. Now, what doesn't make any sense is that there's no age requirement to be in the Supreme Court. Must be 5 o'clock then. Okay, cool. So I definitely have a plan. I definitely have a good plan for the rest of Super Mario World, aka Mario 4. And yeah, I may have struggled quite a lot in that game. Like, a lot. But you guys should really see some of my, a lot of my failed attempts. And some of these, later levels. In the later parts of the game. All of my failed attempts. It's just... Well, see, here's the thing. I think the game gets kind of difficult by the time you get up to when you get to the second, when you're getting ready to finish the Forest of Illusion with the Forest Fortress, Resident Fight number 2 and Roy's Castle number 5. I think castle number 7 is Larry Koopa, but I don't know. Oh, a grad party. Yeah, because it's graduation season. And apparently at my church growing up, why the hell are you going down the street so slow? I mean, I get the speed limit's 25 down through here, but damn, you don't have to go like 15. But anyways, it was senior Sunday at my church today. Well, my church growing up, I should say. Because I'll tell you one thing about me in like church. I don't identify myself as quote-unquote Christian, but since I kind of grew up going to church for most of my entire life, it's just I just have some like religious tendencies sometimes. It's where like if someone I know that I've seen in church growing up, I have to like have like a different persona of myself. Whether it would be like my church growing up or hell, even my grandma's church growing up. Because I remember one year on Mother's Day, me and Mom surprised our grandma. We surprised my grandma by going to her church instead of ours. But and especially when it comes to like Rangers, which is like a church version of Boy Scouts. If we didn't have Rangers and or Missionettes at our church that week, we would go over to Grandma's church for Rangers and Missionettes. Occasionally, not all the time, but occasionally, which but they knew who I was. And like, oh, you're Mary's grandson, aren't you? Like, yeah. Mary was the name of my grandma's name. My grandma was, she was quite famous around the whole, like, I'd probably say, like, she's probably famous around the whole entire county, I would say. Because she went to so many different churches. And, like, sang, like, at a whole bunch of them. And then, of course, there's the TV station. The Christian TV station. That's, ironically, right next door to the radio station. The radio station that I worked at. Yeah, they were right next door. And I remember going over there almost every Friday afternoon / Friday night, because Grandma did a show from 7 to 7:30 called Prayer Line. And Because, you know, sometimes Katrina would help out by doing by delivering stuff back and forth. And I was in like the control room, you know, like all the cues and stuff. But yeah. And then after that was Lights Camera Shop, in which it was like a and then occasionally they'll sometimes do like an auction or something. They have like a bunch of stuff and they'll like sell a bunch of stuff. I mean, it's all mostly a bunch of like kid stuff. And I remember every week that we went up there to help out Grandma with the prayer line show or whatever. Me and Katrina, we would always go up there onto that main stage for the, you know, for the Lights Camera Shop or whatever, and the auction or whatever that they have. And we take a look at some of the stuff that they have. And that usually goes from about 7:30 until like 11-ish, maybe. But you know, it's just some nice stuff that, you know, when you think of somebody, you'd be like, oh yeah, like this person was my, you know, whatever. And what's kind of ironic is that one of my cousins actually goes to my grandma's church, ironically, which is kind of funny. Her name's Tyra. I highly doubt she knows what my channel is, but and she's married, ironically, to a guy named Trevor, which is kind of funny. But yeah, me and my grandma, we were like close. We were like tight. Like there would be times that that I just like, you know, call her on the phone and we just like talk for like a couple hours until I get like tired or she's like has to like go somewhere or whatever. And then of course there was all the countless like summers that we were, you know, going over to her house almost every day. Sometimes as early as like like 9 in the morning and going home at like 9:30. So sometimes we're over there for about 12 hours. Okay. But yeah, sometimes I don't think, well, we only went over there because, you know, it's when, you know, our parents will be out, you know, out for work. You know, it's when mom was still working at the phone company, because, you know, she was there working there for like 20 years. And then that was doing his thing. Hi. I have to pee, but the house is like a couple feet away. But yeah, I mean, we would go to like I mean, when grandma had, I mean, obviously we went with grandma every time she had to like run her errands. Like she'll go to like, oh, let's see here, she'll go to like the bank, and then she'll go to like Walmart, and then Myers, and then we'll and she'll probably stop over at Nichols and get some like bird bread, you know, like old stale bread that she gets from Nichols before they shut down. And you know, she just like give it to the birds, and you know, let the birds eat it. And then when it comes to like yard work, we'll like pick up sticks and mow her yard, or like trim her bushes, you know, that type of stuff. All right, we're now entering the realms of Hucklebuck. I need to let my mom know that I'm here. Oh, where'd that big ass dark gray cloud come from? Like that one, like what the hell? All right, I gotta let her know that I'm practically here. All right, thanks for watching. Maybe we'll do a part 2 on the way back. I don't know, probably not. I'll probably play some Pokemon Go on the way back. I'll just kind of incorporate this into my actual walk. All right, we'll see you next time.